Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Legends from the Past and the Future show. We have a hot show for you tonight, but before we get started with our history making Senator Shaneka Henson, we're going to discuss some upcoming events this coming Saturday. We want everybody to come out and support the Legends from the Past and the Future show. We're going to have our annual honorees Legend Honoree Awards Dinner this Saturday at the Mount Olive Life Center from 6 to 10. We're going to be honoring Carl Henson. We're going to be honoring Carlisa Finney. We're going to be honoring Michelle, and we're going to be honoring Memphis. Now, one thing that we are going to do that we haven't done before, it's going to be the first time that we're going to give out a Lifetime Legend Award, and it's going to be given to the family of Delorma D. Goodwin. All right, so the price is $50 in advance. You can purchase your tickets using Eventbrite. You can purchase your tickets using Zelle, or you can cash app the money to me. Also, we're going to have the Double S Queens as our caterers in the house. We're going to have DJ Smoke on the ones and twos, and we may have a surprise for you. I don't know yet, but we may have a surprise. In the meantime, get your tickets now. Don't delay because they are moving fast. Now, on another administrative note, we have coming a new show, and I'm going to pass it over to Denise so she can talk about it.
Okay, so before I talk about it, I just wanted to put a quick shout out to the event for Saturday, and it's not just a banquet. It is a community get together, a Legends get together, and it's an opportunity for you to contribute to the future scholarships for our future legends. So come on out. So yeah, come on out. Okay. So on the 27th, is it 27th?
29th.
On the 29th of March, we have a new segment under the Legends of the Past and the Future, and it's called We Are Better Together. And let me just give you a little spiel about it, the mission statement about it. It says, We Are Better Together is a relationship-focused podcast hosted by a mother-daughter duo from two generations who are passionate about helping people build stronger connections. Through honest conversations, practical communication tools, and faith-centered wisdom, we explore how relationships thrive when we intentionally connect, communicate, and collaborate. It's inspired by Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Our mission is to help people grow, strengthen their relationships, and become people who sharpen others. So we are excited. Me and my daughter are excited about, bringing this information to you guys. We're gonna tackle a lot of different things. We're gonna start with basic communication skills, communication struggles. We're gonna talk about love languages. We're gonna talk about attachment styles. We are going to dig in, and when it's all said and done, we're going to be better together.
That's awesome. Now, we got to let our boy Roger. What do you think about the upcoming event and the new show, Roger?
Well, I'm looking forward to the event and the new show as well, but I thought it was going to be a mother-daughter thing. I saw two sisters up there, but I guess they got another photo for the mother. But so people come on out, check it out. Now, we're trying to give you all the information. Let's come out there Saturday and have fun. We got MC Crazy, better known as Boy You Chew, and we'll see what's going to go on with that, how that rolls. And like Alma said, we might have a surprise guest coming up there and saying a few things. But Sunday, the 29th, not this Sunday. I had messed up, thought it was this Sunday. But Sunday, the 29th, Deneen and her daughter, they're going to go ahead and give you information and help you make your life better. So come and check it out. It's not like you got to pay for it. It's all free.
Exactly.
Not the event. Just
well, I mean, the event is going to be a party. It's always a party when everybody get together. So, I mean, come on out. It's Saturday night. Come on out. Get something to eat and just party.
Now we're gonna segue into our history making senator who right now she's been on the floor of the chambers all day long. She's gonna join us shortly. But until then, we have her chief of staff, the next best thing. Burl, how you doing, Burl?
I am well. I am well. Thank you for letting me pitch it for our senator until she gets here. You're right. She has been on the floor all day. They started at 10 this morning. They went into 1. She ate a bit of lunch, went to committee at 2, was in committee until 4:30, back on the Senate floor until 4:30, and they got out about quarter to after 7.
Wow, wow. So, since we have you, how does it feel being the chief of staff of our history making senator?
Well, it's quite an honor. It is quite an honor to work with this dynamic and brilliant woman every day, but it's a challenge. We have 27 days left in this legislative session, and I'm looking at my board with my status of my bills. We've got 23 bills that we're pushing. But it's quite an honor. It's a juggling act. You all, you been in leadership. Roger's been in leadership. I'm not sure. I don't know Deneen, but you know what leadership is. And when you're the chief, it all rests on you. So I got to keep things moving, keep her moving, manage my team, keep my desk moving, and we're juggling. We're juggling, but it's quite an honor.
So you know what? Hey, look, Roger, I'm going to tell you something about Burl. Burl is the drill sergeant. She's a drill
sergeant now. Spill the tea,
man. What do you want to ask the drill sergeant?
I don't know. I think I need to take my drill sergeant hat off the wall and mail it to her. But since she's doing all that, but well, obviously, we got the senator, groundbreaking. And then you got the backbone, which is Burl, and they together, they don't just make a great team, they are a dynamic team. And just like Burl said, as a leader, right, if you don't have the team behind you can't do it all alone, you can't do it by yourself. And when you got someone such as Burl behind you, you can't help but be successful. So
thank you for that.
She's awesome. Hey,
I think I would take exception to drill sergeant. I've been called a lot of things.
Yeah. But drill sergeant is a good thing.
You got to be all those things. You got to be all those things. The state of our country is in a place where my senator wants to be everywhere, and everybody ain't nice everywhere.
You got that right.
Let me use some good English. All people aren't welcoming all the time. So sometimes I need to shift from being chief of staff to security. Sometimes I need to be the advanced team. Sometimes I need to be the person that's bringing your lunch or holding your coat or whatever it is that we need to do. We don't, other duties as assigned.
There you go.
Before I pass over to Deneen, she said the advanced team. She said the advanced team. Now come on now. That's military.
It's straight military.
Straight military.
I check it out before she gets there.
There you go. Advanced party.
That's what I'm talking about.
I check it out before she gets there. Sometimes I had a group of interns this summer. Senator Henson believes in pouring back into young people and creating an open platform for them. So we have interns, and they came up with the Miss Downs famous quotes. And one of the things is, we're not doing that. And sometimes we get to a place where I have to say to the senator, we're not doing that.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking about.
We're just not going to do that.
So that's helping her to feel safe and secure. What do you think about that, Deneen?
I mean, I think she's doing her job and she's doing it well. I guess a question that I really did have for you is, what's been your path to get you to where you are now?
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that question. I'll start it when I met Senator Henson. She had come in, as you know, she filled the vacancy of the late Speaker Mike Bush, who was a good friend of mine. Miss him every day. but I met her quite by accident. She sent she responded to an invitation, and I didn't like the response. Wrote her an email and said, "That's not how you do that. We got to do better. If you're going to be my delegate, you have to do better." And she had her then chief of staff, who was a young girl learning politics. She said, "Find that person. She needs to help me do this job." But I started many, many years ago with the Department of Legislative Reference. That's one of the two staffing agencies for the General Assembly, and worked my way through that. Then went to work as an administrator for a lobbying firm. And one day got thrown into the fire and had to register as a lobbyist. And here we are, many, many, many years later in this environment. I believe that it helps me do my job today, what I've done in the past.
Nice. I love that. That's great. Thank you very much on that. I was just wondering about that. And I think people like to hear that. People want to know, what it takes to be where you are, because there are people out there who are looking and saying, you know what, that's something I might want to do too.
Well, we have an opportunity. Anybody wants to shadow, we bring young people in, we bring people in to shadow. Senator Henson come spend the day with us. They spend a little time with me, and then they spend the day with the senator. And that's one of the three ways that we open the door for young people.
Like it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And just let everybody know out there, the senator is coming.
She is coming.
In the time being, we have the next best. I'm not gonna say the next best thing, all right? But
I don't know about all of that now.
But in the meantime, I wanna welcome. Now, this is a guy that I was stationed with in Germany. His first time being on that show as a someone watching, putting morale, a drill sergeant. Woo woo, good to see my guy. All right, Elder Charles James. He said, "Burl, thank you for all that you do, and the Henson Property Group. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show." Now, Burl, what you do require a lot of time and hours. Getting up early, leaving late. Where do you find the energy to really? We're not gonna mention the age or nothing like that, but where do you find the energy to do that?
Well, it's a 90-day session, so it is you pace yourself. I'm pretty disciplined about boundaries. Like to have some work-life balance, but I work for a young woman, so.
Yeah.
We typically are doing 6 to 7 days a week during this time. But I like to walk in the morning. I have prayer and meditation, and I do some devotionals to kind of ground me. So when my hair is on fire and when I'm drinking from the fire hose, I know that it's going to be all right. I know that there's going to be an end. But I've got to be balanced so she doesn't feel off kilter.
Yeah.
Nice.
I tell her all the time, we got this, even if I don't have it just yet.
It's coming.
But we've got this. We've built a great team, and it's good. It's good.
I think one of those other quotes of yours might be, "It's gonna happen."
You got that. Yep. You all, Janine, you were using one of my favorite scriptures, as iron sharpens iron. And we believe that in this office every day. We make each other better.
Right.
Bring your A game. Let's work together and let's get it done. We're not just working. Senator Henson is not on the stage for Senator Henson. We are working for the constituents in the state of Maryland, and in this district, in District 30. And it is the things that we juggle. You'll get into it with her when she gets on about constituent service. We do a lot of that. People need help. And sometimes we have to and they've tried to do what they can, but sometimes we got to put some weight on the scale to get an answer for people. And I spend a lot of time on constituent services.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, she pretty much answered all the questions that I wanted to. But it go back to what we were saying in the beginning. But on another note, before I finish that statement, for someone who I don't think you served in the military, you use a lot of military terms. The hair on fire, drinking from the water hose. Yeah. That's all military terms right there. You got to swallow that water from the water hose. But yeah,
we're drinking from the fire hose around here. When I look at my emails, it's the emails, it's the people coming into the office, it's the request, it's the events, it's the calendaring, it's trying to figure out what she can do. Who do we say no to? How many times have we said no to this group and we got to go? What can we do? How can we work this out? Because she believes that she can do everything all the time. And I'm here to tell her she can't. We can't. We can't. We can't do that.
You need a conscience.
Yeah, we need boundaries. Senator Henson is a young woman. She and her husband are raising their son. I'm very proud to always say that he is a young man. He'll be graduating from Morgan with an engineering degree in May. So we're very proud of that. I feel like I have helped her make sure that happens. But yeah, it is the military terms work. There's some things that just work.
Absolutely.
They just work. They just work. I believe that I have built my team where I use signals and we use our facial expressions, and they know what that means. Sometimes we're across the room, and sometimes I'm with her and I can't say the words, but I can do that. I spoke earlier about our interns. We had 4 very dedicated interns last summer. You might know the names of 2. One young man was Larry Reese III.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Larry Reese III. And the other young man was Akil Leggett Jr., Vince Leggett's grandson, and then from the Reese family. And they came in and they spent 8 weeks with me and the senator. And Senator Henson believes in that program. She puts money aside in her budget to pay them a stipend. And we give them a lot of opportunities. I got a note the other day. They wrote thank you notes. I'm big on that. I think we should say thank you more than we say can you. And I think teaching young people to say thank you and making them appreciative is a big thing. But Senator Henson has 3 ways that she opens the door to young people. One is the internship program. The other is doing the shadowing. They can do that. And another thing she'll talk about when she gets on is her scholarship program. And she's very dedicated. Every legislator has a pot of money that they can give out for scholarships. Thing about the Senate, now that we're in the Senate, we have to give it to students that are in Legislative District 30. They have to be in this district.
Okay.
If you get it, and it's need-based, and we like first-time generation students that are going for representing their family, but she believes in need-based. If you can get other scholarships, you can do that, but this is need-based. And the student, if you get it and you're academically eligible, it renews for 4 years.
Nice.
It renews for 4 years.
Nice. I love that. I love that as a parent that has 2. I have two college graduates, and so that's nice to be able to have those options for payment, things like that.
Well, she's so committed to that. We partnered with a gentleman called Dr. Chris Vick. He's out of UMBC and he's worked with us. But this is a gentleman who went to school and has several degrees and used scholarship money. And he wants to tell parents and students how to do that. Don't go into debt for education.
There's no need to.
He's partnered with us, and if you look on Senator Henson's YouTube, he did a symposium talking to parents and students earlier this year, and he is taking the show on the road. He was at Southern Senior High today talking to students, and he'll be at Annapolis High on Monday.
What's his name again?
Dr. Chris Vick. Dr. Vick.
Thank you.
He's amazing. He is amazing. You should have him on the show. We can make that happen.
Yeah,
Let's
that's why I
let's
wanted his name, because I definitely think that would be a great addition to the show.
We can make that happen.
let's do that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Burrow, you said something that was really powerful. Senator is young. I don't know the average age of the other senators in the chambers, but is there times when they may try to push her aside because she's young and make things difficult? You being the chief of staff, how do you uh, drill sergeant? Drill sergeant?
Absolutely, all day. They know it. They know it. They know it. Senator Henson is brilliant, so they don't fool with her on that. But there are some times when I'll tell you, she has the honor as a senator to, when Governor Moore appoints people to the nominees to different boards, she has the honor, if you live in this district, she presents you to the group called Executive Nominations, and she will present you. So we had Judge Danielle Mosley come in with her family, and Senator Henson was doing the presentation. Well, they told me she was first to present, and it didn't happen that way. And so we had to have a talk about that, because I had my senator waiting based on what they said. Now I would have come when they told me to come, but if you tell me to come first, I can't have her waiting. She was juggling some things. I don't know if you know, but she'll talk about that when she gets on. But she is also, in addition to being a dynamic senator and an attorney, she is also the newly appointed first vice chair for the Legislative Black Caucus. And our Black Caucus is the largest in the country.
Nice.
The largest in the country. And so juggling all of those things. So yes, I do have to be a bit of a drill sergeant, and those military things work. They work. They work.
I think that's the beauty of the balance of, having someone that's more seasoned with her. I think it's just like he said, I think that is a dynamic duo. I think there's so much that you have that she may not have, and there's things that she has. So it just balances the perspective. So I think that the people get a whole package when they have both of you.
Thank you. Thank you. We try to do that. Sometimes we don't agree. Sometimes, and we're not supposed to. We're supposed to be agreeable.
Yes.
Agreeable.
Yes.
I've got some years on her, about 24 years on her. So I will say to her, we're not doing that.
I like that.
Bro, Roger is a retired command sergeant major and a drill sergeant. I'm pretty sure he has a lot to say when it comes to you and your ability to be a drill sergeant.
Well, she just one thing I used to tell, because I also taught your son school, you can't teach leadership. You can go ahead and just you can give him the book. For the Army, it was 22-100. You can have them read the book and all that other stuff, but if it's not in you, it's just not in you, and nobody had to teach you leadership. It's already instilled in you. So any of those terms that you use is coming out all natural. Personally, if you was in the military, you probably would have been a dynamic drill sergeant, no doubt in my military mind. But but the fact that she has you, like Deneen said, that balance. Once you got that balance, because every commander I had, I was older than. Like one of them, I had to tell him, I said, sir, when I was jumping out of airplanes, you was in the 3rd grade, so which one else you think right? He said, I guess you're right, so I said, okay, let's go with that.
Right.
And then when he came out on the list to be a colonel, he got up there and talked about me so much. I was sitting by his wife as well saying, I don't even know why I came. But when you sit up there and got it, and here's the thing with what you just said, stuck in my mind. The senator may be younger, but she has the wisdom to listen when you say something. See, a lot of people will fall back, I'm in charge. But no, she has the wisdom to listen. And that what makes her, the great woman that she is.
She
Absolutely.
listens. She does listen. And, there's a trust factor. We built that relationship where she trusts me. And if I don't know, I'm the first person to say, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how we're going to do that. I'm not sure we should do that. But I will, let's check that out. Let's see what we can do. Let's see
There
what
you
we
go.
can do.
Yeah.
And the world of politics where we are, it's she's in a leadership position here. She's the first African-American woman to serve in this seat. I told some young people the other day, if you are writing the history, you don't write that.
Mm.
You don't write that. But if you're reading it, you want to read that. Now, what are
There
you
you
going to
go.
be? You're going to be a writer, or you're going to be a reader. And so young people need to understand what's happening in the world today. And
Yes.
she's on the Judicial Proceedings Committee. They craft a lot of the laws that govern how we operate and what we do. Give you a good example. Have you heard of Waymo
Mm.
and the driverless cars?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I heard
They
that.
came in and they did a presentation before Senator Henson's committee. And if I'm not in the committee, I'm watching from my desk online. And she had questions for them. As you put these driverless cars on the road, what happens to the jobs of the people that are driving cars and do that for a living in the business? She said, are you working with workforce development to pull them into what you're doing? But I've got people in my district that are going to lose jobs. What's going to happen there? And she began to hammer those questions and hammer those questions. That's the legislator that she is. She wasn't, the technology is amazing, but what happens to the jobs? They're displacing jobs. And that's the kind of person you want sitting at the helm, looking out for people.
Right.
I mean,
Absolutely.
Man, so you are a part of history, bro. You are right there
Mm-hmm.
with history as chief of staff.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is your working relationship with other chief of staffs of the other senators?
Oh, that's a good question. Thank you for that. The president of the Senate, Bill Ferguson, has a chief of staff that is the chief. We call her the chief. She's Sally Robb, and we meet every Monday as a group because we've got to be able to be responsible for our members. So she brings us together every Monday, the majority caucus, we call them. But every chief of staff comes in and she gives us the forecast for the week. And then they meet, the Democratic caucus meets on Tuesday mornings. But I already know on Monday what the week looks like and how I can help my senator move and do. But they meet on Tuesdays. But we all got to work together. We all have to work together. Senator Henson we had a nominee for the community college board. And we had somebody in mind. We couldn't get some things together, couldn't make the connection. And she said to me this morning, I want that person nominated. I want that person's resume considered. Now understand, I got all this going on this morning. She says, I want that. So I called a fellow chief of staff and I said, can we get this in? She said, send me the resume. And it got in. But it's because of relationships.
That's the word I was
Because of
thinking.
relationships. I don't take it for granted. If I can help you, we're going to help. My grandmother used to say something all the time, make a deposit before you make a withdrawal.
Mm.
I love it.
And you got to do that in politics. And much of the relationships that we have in this office came from long relationships from when I worked for legislative reference, or when I lobbied, or when Senator Henson's father helped a family, or when her mother, who's also a pastor, has done some things. But it's all about relationships.
I have a question. It's Women's History Month, and so the question I have is, when I think about the legislature and all those people, I think about most of the time you would think that they are male dominant, Is that what you see in this legislature? I mean, do we have a good representation of women?
We do. I am so grateful to be able to share with you tonight. Senator Joanne Benson, who is the dean, we call her, from Prince George's County, was in today. She's been out. She's had some health issues and some challenges, and she came in today, and it just brought tears to my eyes to see her. She is walking history, just walking history. But the women that we have are very dynamic. But unfortunately, in the Maryland State Senate, there are 3 African-American women serving in the Senate. Senator Benson, Joanne Benson in Prince George's County, Senator Mary Washington in Baltimore, and Senator Henson in Anne Arundel. 3 African-American women out of 47 senators. There are only 3 African-American women. So we got some work to do.
Yeah.
Right.
We got some work to do. They were in the elevator all one time. One time they were all together, and Senator Henson snapped a picture of them. And I said, "Don't you all do that again."
You ain't kidding. That is so true. Wow.
I did just get a note from my senator. She is being prescribed some antibiotics. Antibiotics. So with your permission, I want her to go home and go to bed.
Yeah, right. For sure.
I'm going to make you a couple promises. I will do citations for you for Saturday night if you send me the names.
Okay.
That'll be a rush job. I will have to use some eye contact over in the print shop.
Okay.
But we'll get that done for you. And we will reschedule the senator to be on with you. We will do that. I will promise to connect you with Dr. Vic.
Thank you.
Awesome. And I'll make one more promise that you will have a member of the Legislative Black Caucus on.
Yes. Thank you so much.
I need you to do 2.
See?
Judge Scott.
Judge Stacey Scott?
Stacey Scott.
Absolutely. That's an easy fix.
Okay.
That's easy. That is easy. That's
a military term. That's easy.
Miss Burrow, it has been a joy just to sit here and talk to you. I feel like I've learned so much. I just feel like I'm better. I'm better because you were on here today.
I love what you and your daughter are going to be doing. Please invite Senator Henson in that. If you want a mother-daughter duo, you can get she and her mom, who work very well together. Senator Henson was recently on Sunday. She was the morning speaker at Mount Zion in Eastport.
Okay, wow.
They were celebrating Women's History Month, and she was the morning speaker she's a PK, so she can be in the pulpit. She knows how to do that. We had a pastor that was coming. We invite pastors. Senators can invite pastors from their districts to do the invocation on the Senate floor every day. And because she's a senator of the capital city, we get, if someone cancels, we have alternates that are very close and that can fill right in.
Nice.
So on Monday, when we were looking for all of that weather, we canceled our pastor to tell him not to come. He was coming from South County, and Senator Henson had to do the invocation, and she did it very well.
Nice. That's great.
She did it very well.
Amazing. So what we do, Burrow, we're going to allow Roger, he's going to, whatever he has to say or ask of you before you go, we're going to let him say something. We're going to let Deneen say something. I'll say something. And then you get a chance to close it out.
Oh, wow. I'm excited. I was a little nervous here, but I tell you, you've asked me all easy questions.
Yeah.
Because it's in you. It's in you. It's not, you
didn't get too technical with me about her legislation and what's going on in her committee. She can talk about all of that. I could do a little of that, but my legislative director, I had her go home because she'd been here 12 hours like I have. So,
right.
Well, we really wanted to know life of a chief of staff.
Lord have mercy.
And you did good, bro.
Lord have mercy.
Absolutely.
Well, it is it is an honor and a privilege to serve with this brilliant young woman and to be a part of history. There are three things that get me up every day. My relationship with long-standing, the late Michael Bush. He was my friend, and as I said, I miss him every day. And there were some great women who poured into me. That's how I know those military terms, and I know what I know about giving back. They required that. And then I've got two granddaughters that I've got to make the world better.
That's right.
Got to make the world better for them. They should not be going through, when they get this age, what we're going through right now. So
Absolutely.
wakes me up every day to do those three things.
Wow. So, Roger, what do you have for Burl?
Well, I really don't have anything for her. I mean, it was just an honor and a privilege. And I kind of feel like we need to have a show with just you on there, to be honest.
Oh, no.
And we definitely need. You say no? I'll let you and Army handle that. But, you know, the thing about this show that I love, my co-hosts, you know, they have the ability to just ask the right questions and let the people run with it. You pretty much ran the whole show. It's a joy to listen to you, and it make me feel so good to have you two up there. I'm not trying to step on no toes, you know, people of color. That's as far as I'm gonna go with that. And the knowledge that you and wisdom that you impart on her helps her to make those decisions, which in turns make things better for us. So, you know, I really appreciate you coming on the show. I mean, you actually on the show, even though that's not what we had planned. And I mean, you were just outstanding. I'm like the name to, you know, jump on what she said. You know, it just made me feel good talking to you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, we got to pivot sometimes.
Absolutely.
Got to pivot sometimes.
Exactly.
Got to be ready to pivot. Got to be ready to pivot. So thank you. I appreciate that, Roger. Appreciate
And you
that.
did that, and you did do. You pivoted. I mean, you stood in the gap. I mean, it was great. And so I'm really happy that we were able to just chat with you. We know a lot about the senator, but I was happy to be able to get a little bit into you, right? And I appreciate you also putting a plug in for the new show, because for Mother's Day, we were planning to bring on mother-daughter, duos during the month of May. So they might be one of the first that we reach out to. So that was nice of you to say that. So yeah, I definitely appreciate that. And we're just looking forward to talking to the senator when she comes back on. I know you won't be far, and I love to have you come on. Just you.
Well, thank you. I think I've been on. I think you've gotten me a couple of things I don't do. I wouldn't do this. I would be in the background feeding her information, and I try not to take photos. I tell people all day, "Oh, get in the photo." If I'm taking a photo, I'm not working. I'm not working. You know, my head has to be on a swivel most of the time. As most people come in and they want to look at who's in the room. I'm always looking for who's not in the room.
But you know what, Ms. Burl, what you gave, I mean, yeah, you can, we will definitely give you a pass, because you gave us enough meat tonight for us to move forward with, you know, future shows, and we really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you all for being very flexible and tolerant. You know, we got to keep them healthy. She knows that I don't know where she picked up this bug. It wasn't in this office, because I come in every morning and I am bleach wiping and Lysoling, and she can smell. She said, "Oh, Burl Downs is in. I can smell her coming down the hall." But I believe in that. And but I have to keep her healthy, and I don't let her shake hands. You fist bump those people or elbow bump those people.
That's right.
But we're not having no sickness in this office. So I would ask your listeners and you keep her in prayer.
Yeah.
Keep her in prayer. It is, you know, you can get run down, and you need to, when you're working for the people, these things happen, and there's not a lot of gratitude in it sometimes. So people are going to be looking. If she's not well, people go, "Well, where is she? Where is she? What is she doing?"
Right.
Well, you know what? She's not feeling good. What you need? So we try to take care of that. But please, young people, if you go on ShanekaHenson.com, under the resources page, there is a section for scholarships. Apply. It closes on April 1st. April 1st. And again, that's a pot of money that the senator can distribute. We have a scholarship committee. It's a very simple process. Dr. Vic was at Southern High today, and he had the young people pull out their phones and apply right there. So it's just that simple. It's just that simple. We don't want to make it complicated. If you're interested in summer internships, please email our office. You can find it on the Maryland General Assembly's website. Email the office. I'd like to bring young people in to shadow with her. They can, I used some of the shadowing to pour into the internship program. It gives me an idea of young people's interest in their, if they can stay off their phones long enough to learn something. So those are 3 ways that they can come in. But Senator Henson is going to be celebrating women in the next couple of weeks before the end of the month. We've identified some really interesting and powerful change makers in our district, and she's going to be bringing them in to be her guest on the Senate floor. We'll be celebrating them. We did that during Black History Month. We celebrated Denise Hector, who has been a licensed mortician for 50 years.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Most people don't know that, but for 50 years, Senator Henson celebrated her on the Senate floor. She was the 3rd woman licensed in the state of Maryland. And she brought her in to do that. The other person during Black History Month was Miss Eliza May Robinson, who was the mother of my dear, dear friend who passed in November. But Mrs. Robinson's 94 years old. And Senator Henson brought her in to celebrate her birthday on the Senate floor. And it happened to be, we scheduled it, but we didn't. But it happened to be the day that Morgan was coming to serenade the Senate. So they were able to serenade Mrs. Robinson.
Yes.
And it was just powerful. Awesome. All of that is on Senator Henson's social media, which she does herself. But look back at that. But she's doing some things, and she believes in the power of thank you. She believes in elevating. She saw Mr. Wallace at the rally a couple weeks ago. Oh, there she is! Yay!
Who does that? Come on now.
Hi. Senator, I did the best I could, but they have fired me.
Oh, no.
We hired her. That's what we did.
She was definitely every bit of amazing.
She did a great job. So we're going to have to reschedule you, Senator.
Yes, please.
I was texting you to go home and go to bed and take care.
Yes.
I could do this for you, but tomorrow I can't pull that red and green lever. They won't let me do that.
You know, try as we might, Burl. Try as we might. How is everybody doing?
Oh, we doing great. We doing great. You know, I'm doing great. I can't speak for Deneen and Roger, but we have.
We're doing great. Burl did an outstanding job. You know, I mean, it was such an honor to talk. You have, you know, you don't mess around and grab Michael Jordan. I'm telling you.
Come on.
It's right there. That's it. Ain't no more need to be
many things. I've been called many things, but Senator, I promised them some things that we're going to deliver on. We're going to rush some citations through for their event on Saturday. They're going to be honoring Carol Henson and Carlisa Finney, and
wonderful,
celebrating the life of Dee Goodwin, our good friend.
Wonderful.
So
you guys have picked wonderful people to lift up. Wonderful.
I told them about your Black History moments with Denise Hector and Eliza May Robinson, and all we're going to be doing for Women's History Month.
So familiar with them. Go ahead, Armand.
It would be great if we could convince you to come by and give out those citations on Saturday.
I'm not going to promise that, if she might not be well, and we will see. You will have the citations.
Awesome.
Well, that's all. That's the bulk of it. That's what we need. That's 90%. So we appreciate that.
Roger is shaking his head like you didn't give her a chance to answer, Burl. No, ma'am.
No.
We'll be together.
I was saying Almond always plugging. We know the senator. We want a healthy senator. She need to get her rest.
Yes, absolutely. We appreciate you coming on, but we echo with Ms. Burrow that you should be going and resting, and we will see you at another appointed time.
I appreciate that. It's that time of year where we're in crossover, and it's perhaps the busiest time in the Senate for us and for my colleagues in the House as well, because it's one of those milestones where the bills have to cross in order to be on time to get them upstairs to the governor. So we are working on all the things at any given moment. It might be from a traffic safety law to a penalty for murder to what happens in the case of sexual assault, to the state budget, to the blueprint for Maryland's future, to the schools for our babies. So we are tackling everything all at once, and that's the days for us. And it'll be that way all this week, and then next week we will do it all over again.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, Senator Henson, this is what I'd like to have you do. Okay, we're gonna reschedule another date, a Wednesday that's convenient with you. But in the meantime, if you could just leave something encouraging for the ones who remained around and got the pleasure of seeing you, and then we're going to call it a night.
I appreciate that. Well, first, I want to thank you all for inviting me, and thank your audience for tuning in, not just this week, but every week, for the amazing program that you all have, uplifting talent and uplifting Black folks that are doing great and amazing things. Thank my Chief of Staff, Burl Downs, for filling in and sharing the good word with the good people tonight. But what I want people to leave here encouraged and knowing is that there are people fighting for you, that your legislators, we are out there and we are not taking it for granted. We are doing this work with so much passion. We are showing up and we are bringing the best of ourselves to this job. We are making sure that your needs, your concerns are at the top of our mind. We are determined not to leave this legislative session unless we have solutions for you, unless we can come back to the community and say, here is what I have done to take the trust that you have given me and to deliver you something great in return. So please leave here encouraged, knowing that we are working hard for you. And Armand, I promise you that I will come back when this session is done, and you'll be one of my very first stops to let everybody know all the things that we did with these 90 days to make it count.
Oh, man. Yes. Thank you. Wow.
I told you all she's brilliant.
I know. Wow.
Everything.
Look, now I see. I hung out with your dad, Kenya, last month. So
yes,
he's quite brilliant too.
Yes, he is. That's where the passion begins. I'm telling you, my dad is 100% dialed in. I'm blessed and honored to have both of my parents. If God didn't give me anything else, he gave me two great parents.
Absolutely.
And a great son and a great husband.
Yes, indeed.
You
know, your father made a comment. He made a comment. He said, I know her, son. He said, I know her son. So, I tell you, it's just great. He's awesome, and one day I'm going to get out with him on that Kenya for Love trip.
It'll change your life. Please do it.
Yes.
But Senator, before you leave, they were asking me about June. I didn't get too much into that, but because I'm sitting in a place where I couldn't get into that, but you can.
Oh, yes. When I come back, I want to talk all about that. We will leave this 90-day session and roll right into the campaign season. That's what's unique about this year. And I'm not the only one on the ballot. We'll elect a new county executive this year. Your delegates are also up for election, no matter where you live in the state of Maryland. Governor Wes Moore will be on the ballot for re-election. We get a chance to show people that we won't just have a one-term governor as the first Black governor in the state of Maryland, only Black governor in the country right now, but we get a chance to send him back to Annapolis for 4 more years to do more great work. So we've got judges on the ballot who are representing us. We've got so many folks who will be on the ballot this year, and we have to make sure that our people vote, because when people don't vote, I have seen just in my short time in politics, folks start to count those communities out and overlook them when they can't count on them for a vote. So I'm always determined anytime I'm in front of my community to say, whether you voting for the dog catcher or you voting for, somebody and love, you have got to turn up and you have got to vote, because if you don't, people will act just like you don't matter. It'll be the right thing to do, but they won't do it if they know that they can't count on a vote from you. So I will be back to share that message as well.
Thank you.
Senator, we're going to do all that we can. We're going to use all of our 600,000 plus followers and do what we can to get you elected. We have P on the show next week. We're going to get him elected, and we're going to get
wonderful.
We're going to do what we can. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. Thank you for being flexible with me and taking the second string.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Good night.
See you next week.
For all the knowledge.